and I'm sick and tired about you and fucking robots.
Are you fucking serious,
and
bro?
An AI.
No, are you
That's all you
serious?
do. That's all he does.
You don't fucking understand, dude.
No.
Like, you got this little myopic fucking.
No.
We don't need the robots. The robots
Stop
are gonna
it.
be fucking
You got
bad.
one way you look at things, the way you digest
tell me to
things.
fuck that. Don't tell me
Don't
to
even
fucking
fucking
stop it.
start
Are
shit
you
with me,
fucking-
man.
Why do we even? We should not even fucking do this shit if you don't like.
Well, if you don't have the
robots.
fucking confidence
fuck
in me,
that.
how
Are
many
you
cops-
fucking angry?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Weigh-In. Holy shit. So I don't even know what to title this episode. Like, I got anger explained. What is anger? How to deal with it.
Anger
but
issues.
This episode is about fucking anger, okay? So, matter of fact, if you want to learn and if you want to know how to deal with emotions, how to deal with the perceptions in life, hit that subscribe button. Hit it. It's probably right down there. Hit it. Hit it. Subscribe.
Hit it twice.
Join the fuck. Hit it twice or 3 times if it.
Well, look, everybody has anger issues and everybody has anger that pops up in their life. But the bottom line is, what does it really mean? What is the essence of what anger is really all about? And Julian has actually spent some really good time putting this together. And our first thought is, what is anger?
So okay, I'm glad you got to that. Okay, so anger is the result of a feeling that you get when you perceive you don't have comfortable control over a current or imminent situation that has value and the attention of your conscious mind. Now, I'm gonna say that one more time. If you didn't get it.
We just had that happening almost.
Yes.
My blood pressure's up a little bit. We're going to have a throwdown.
Yes.
But you see how we obviously, we set this up for the episode. So,
yes,
give it a go.
Once again, anger is the result of a feeling that you get when you perceive you don't have comfortable control over a current or imminent situation that has value and the attention of your conscious mind. So what does that mean in layman terms? Okay.
Tell me.
Anger equals lack of control. So
True.
This is my theory, which I believe my genius brain turned out to be fucking true, that all anger can be related. And I don't care what the anger is, that it can be related to a lack of control.
That simple?
That simple. Anything.
Unpack this a little bit now.
So now, I want to talk about emotions, okay? And I'm gonna use the more scientific terms than I normally do, but we're gonna unpack it and break it down.
All right, Dr. Spock.
So emotions. Emotions elicit a powerful need to physically, psychologically, physiologically, and perceptually coalesce congruently to an instinctive, acculturated, sociological, parental, or sibling-based learned behavior.
Jesus Christ, we're going to have an argument over that shit.
So breaking that down is you feel an emotion, you react to a stimulus, and then you're going by something that is instinctively built into human behavior, the DNA, the RNA, or something that you learned from your parents, society, or your siblings. So if your father, say your father came home, right?
Sure.
Mother didn't have the dinner ready for him.
Yeah, sure. Potatoes ain't ready.
And this is just a hypothesis. It's not saying what happened in his actual, because you gotta, so Pops came home, Moms didn't have dinner ready, Dad got mad, he started yelling, and he pushed something off or he knocked something over. As a child, you see him exhibit that behavior, and then you say, this is how I react emotionally to feeling anger or feeling that lack of control over a situation, and you mimic that throughout life.
Well, when you're young, that's when you're the most influential. You do smell that stuff. You do absorb it. If you're smart enough, even at a young age, you can kind of deal with it a little bit. But when you're young, the first reaction is anger is extremely complicated, and it actually becomes a major factor in your life. That can affect your mind. It can scar your future, and there's a lot of things you have to deal with.
Anger can result from Anger's complicated, and it can result from a multitude of things. So it can be you can't change an event. You can't go back in time. It can result from the death of someone. You can't remove a stain from your shirt. You can't make someone comply. You can't have something. You lost something or someone. It could be something that's abstract, something that's intangible. you know, you can't make someone understand something. You can't retrieve something. Like, there's a multitude of reasons for anger. But once again, I believe that anger all stems from control. Like, that you can't control something, and it's an omniscient control. You know, it's a godlike control. You know, like it's something that's embedded in like the human nature, like the human psyche.
So it's in the building blocks of what we are all about, huh?
Yeah. So like, think about this. Anything you got mad at somebody that cut you off in traffic, and you're angry. Why are you angry? Because that guy cut you off. What?
Give the Henny boy a break, bro.
What would make you happy? Being able to control that situation, going back in time and make him not do that. You lost a promotion. You couldn't control getting that promotion. I believe that anger is all about control and the lack of control that we obviously have as human beings. We can't control everything.
Well, I like your hypothesis on the whole situation here and all the things you're posting. And I agree, totally agree. But I mean, we need to break it down a little bit further. I mean, there's got to be ways to deal with this.
So there's definitely ways that people deal with anger, and we're going to break these things down. So we're going to talk about the ways that people naturally deal with anger and what I believe that you should do as far as the anger control. And like I said, that's the one thing that you have to remember. Anger is a lack of control. That's why you get angry. Every single time you've got angry, someone could die and you're mad. I didn't get to say this and this person died, or I didn't get to say this and this person left. It's still control. Like, it all boils down to control. And once you understand that it's about control, you understand that what you can do to not be as angry. And I definitely have
I know what you're
something.
saying.
So the first thing I want to talk about is, as far as dealing with anger, is you can submit to the ill-advised, illogical, irrational, non-introspective, and selfishly compliant behavior to satiate an ephemeral or moderate perception of discomfort. So in layman terms, that means you're angry about something and you can react and act on the feelings that are immediate to you. This guy's pissing me off. I want to punch him in his face. Now, I'm not saying that's right, but I'm saying that's a way that you can deal with it. I want to do this. You know, this person is making me mad. You know, I want to do something. I want to act out. I want to kind of balance the scales a little bit.
But if you control it, you can actually bring it down to earth a little bit.
Yes, you can react in a rational way that allows you to have options and still function in society. So the second way that you can deal with anger, you can fantasize about committing petty, cruel, violent, immature, dominant, imposing, recalcitrant, narcissistic, intimidating, vexing, worrying, alarming, or frustrating actions to bring even or greater distress to the cause of your discomfort or to yourself in an attempt to balance the metaphysical scales of justice. So once again, in layman's terms,
This fucking guy.
yeah. So case in point, and this is a real life thing that happened. So I'm on chess.com. You know, I play chess.
Sure.
I got mad that I lost. And I lost because of, silly mistakes that I made. Not the opponent, but
The person seized upon your failure there.
Yeah.
Sure.
I wasn't playing up to my level of what I should have been. And this person who was, I perceived, not as good as me, was not, beat me. So, I got mad and I decided to deactivate the app, That's me not...
You're going to go that far?
I was angry.
Sure. Yeah.
Now, I was angry because I didn't have control. And the control was I should have been able to win the game. I should have had control of the situation.
So how did you fix that? How did you get around that anger problem?
Oh, I never fixed it. Like I said, I acted out in the petty crew.
So you did stop. You pull yourself.
I deactivated. I haven't been on chess.com in like 4 weeks. That was anger, and that's what kind of made me think about this episode.
Yeah, sure.
And that, once again, that's not the way to go. So the third thing that you can do is you can pay the long cost of half measures, which is basically ignoring, avoiding, or suppressing the unresolved emotional event, and I call it any, like if you fall in love, if you like somebody, if you hate somebody, you know, if you desire, if you're depressed, I call that an emotional event. You can suppress the unresolved emotional event until a familiar stimulus or emotional trigger initiates the vicious cycle all over again to a certain degree. So you can say, okay, you know what? I'm mad at this, but I'm gonna forget about it, and I'm just gonna keep going on with my life. But what's gonna happen is, sooner or later, whatever happened that got you angry is gonna come up again because you really didn't process it. You really didn't solve what was going on.
You didn't solve the problem, actually.
Yes.
A lot of self-control. It's a simple process, actually. I mean, we're giving you the more like the deeper aspects of what it's all about, but it's all there for you at your grasp. Self-control allows you to catch your breath. Like everybody, if you're a car driver, you're in a vehicle, you're always you end up in a road rage. Mm-hmm. It happens all the time. You can let that go too far.
You can't control. Why did this person shift into this lane? All it is. It's all about control.
But if you cope with it and you deal with it correctly, you'll realize you really don't have to follow that person down a side street and give them the bird.
Yeah.
And actually call them a motherfucker. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Because it's all about control.
And you got to think that these things take an emotional and physical toll, and it cuts down opportunities. You can flip somebody off, you know, or you can drive behind somebody, throw something at their car, like, you know, like a empty, you know, water bottle. Maybe a cop on the side street, he sees you, and now he's like, yo, what did this guy do? What did this guy do? Like, pull over. Why'd you throw that? You know, what's going on? You know, your girlfriend, your significant other, your boyfriend's not acting in, you know, the way that you want, and then you can say, you know what, you're not acting how I want. I don't want to be with you anymore. And then the next day you realize, once you don't have that heightened set of emotions, oh shit, I love this dude, or I love this girl. Why did I say these things? You know, that's one thing that I learned from, you know, Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power, that when you act out emotionally, normally you cut off your options. When you do something in anger,
oh yeah, you're fucked.
Yeah, like
you can't back up because you've already committed to being a fool.
Yeah, there's no way to backpedal or to, you know, or really say, oh, I didn't mean to do that. You did it. So now, like, you're stuck in the act, you know.
Well, if you fess up to your failure and you accept the fact that you knew you were wrong, you can actually pull out real quick. It'll control your breathing, because as soon as you get in trouble, your heart rate starts to pace to an incredible level.
Yeah.
And you start thinking like, oh, I really screwed up. And then you start realizing, if I take some real deep breaths, what is that that thing you mentioned about the deep breathing?
The box breathing.
The box breathing. If you actually kind of hearing some of that stuff. 4 breaths in,
hold for 4, like take a deep breath for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, then exhale for 4 seconds. That's Navy SEAL box breathing. That's how they bring the vagus nerve under control, and the central nervous system, they bring that under control. They get that sense of calm.
Yeah, because as you can imagine, if you were a Marine or a Navy SEAL, whatever it might be, you were under a lot of pressure.
Hell yeah.
And you need to narrow it down real quick. And it does work. You can transfer it back towards normal life, and it truly works. And then you have a better tendency to see exactly what you did wrong, and you cope with the anger. Because if you don't, you're going to react irrationally, and it's going to be a bigger problem down the line.
So I have what I believe a solution to anger that if you work on, you can kind of dissipate and get rid of anger. It's one thing that you can do.
Tell me, Sensei.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
I'm on some Cobra Kai, Mr. Miyagi shit, okay? Are you ready for this work? This is the one. This is the one. You won't need to listen to any or watch any video on anger ever again after you realize this.
The Coup De Grace.
If anger is about control, then you need to let go of your immediate need to control the particular situation. Let that sink in. Let go of the immediate need to control the particular situation. If anger is about control, so say you get mad at me and you're like, yo, I need you to come in on time. We supposed to do this show at 4. It's 4:30. Why you just sliding in? What's going to persist and keep you angry is hanging on to that need for control. Now, right or wrong, if you want to just get rid of the anger, you would have to say, you know what? I don't need, like, my need for this dude to come in on time to have control of this particular thing. I'm going to let it go. I'm gonna let it go. I'm gonna release it and not feel the need. After you do that, you don't need to feel angry anymore. You won't feel angry. So let go of the control, let go of the anger. If you let go of the control, you let go of the anger, because anger is about control. Every single thing. Like,
it's all based on that. That's the bottom line of it. Oh.
Yes. That really has to inculcate, that has to sink in. Every single thing that you're angry about, if you, like anything it was, if somebody violated you, you couldn't control it. It was the lack of control. It was the id. The id is what's killing you. It's what's making you angry. It's what's building up the cortisol. It's what's stressing you out. Once you can let go, once you can be at peace and say, I don't need to control this, you won't be angry anymore in your life. If I'm wrong, tell me. Like, put it in the comment section. If you don't think that I'm right, put it in the comment section. Like, put it in there. But I believe I'm right. Like, prove me wrong. Somebody prove me wrong. I'm a smart dude. Like, I read a lot of books. I watched a lot of videos. Let me know.
Life experiences from the master himself.
The weigh-in, baby.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm not angry anymore. Kumbaya. Dude, fucking rocking this fucking
Do it.
Fucking weigh-in. Dude, fucking good episodes today, man. I'm not even fucking mad anymore. I'm not Cuban Gooding Jr. fighting the fucking air and shit.
Because you let it go, man.
Yeah.
You let it go. You brought the anger down. You accepted it. You worked with it. Everything you said, you did.
Yeah, so hit that subscribe button.
And I'm still arguing about that damn AI
Man,
shit.
fuck that. AI 2 coming.
It would be nice if she would get a little nod here and there, and I think she will in the upcoming year of 2021.
We'll see. We'll see.
But it's still pretty impressive that Kamala is in with Joe, and man, I'm telling you, both of those two together and their acceptance speeches, they were low key in the sense they didn't bring any new dynamics to anything. They just reinstilled all the thoughts that we love and we believe in as good humans and good Americans.
Yeah, Kamala, the vice president. So her role in the Biden administration. So the vice president's role is to preside over the Senate and be the tie-breaking vote if needed, as well as succeed the presidency if the sitting president cannot perform his appointed duties. So with that being said, I wonder, it's gonna be very interesting to see her relationship with the Senate, because we've seen Kamala, when she's been in her more interrogator role as far as like
the Kavanaugh trials. Yeah. She was insane. Matter of fact, that's probably the first time, aside from the California stuff, that she really stood out as a person who would be good in her role.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see like how they coalesce and how they receive Kamala. Because obviously, she's a no BS woman. Like, she's really
right to the point.
From what I've seen, and what I know and what I've researched, like, she's a by the book, about the people, stern woman, and I'm very, very interested to see how the Senate receives her, because right now
she's not going to let anybody down.